Hello, I'm here. I'm trying to sort out this mess of XLR cables that I got here. I'm rewiring the drum kit. I don't think you want to see me tangle up all these XLR cables. We'll be back when it's time to put up some microphones on the kit. Until then, hit the like button and please subscribe. Bye. Well, okay. This is cleaned up now. We're gonna start to connect all the microphones to my 8-channel snake here, and I have another 8-channel snake on the other side. I'm just gonna have a cup of tea and then we're off. And if you haven't subscribed, please do it. Okay, so we're back. We're gonna start to put up some microphones for the toms. And for that, I'm gonna use the Sennheiser 604. It doesn't sound like an 421, but it's in the same ballpark. And what I've heard is that it actually uses the same capsule as the 421. So let's just put it up, and I'm using this microphone stands that you attach to the rim. Those are actually kind of good. So there, I'm kind of happy at this point. We'll see perhaps if I have enough of clips and stands, then perhaps I will mic the tones from the bottom also. Because if you're miking them from the top and bottom, you will get this really huge bottom of the toms, which is really, really good. But we'll see if I have enough equipment for it. So we'll be back soon. Okay, so now we're gonna put up the snare microphones, and for that we're using SF57, and we're gonna use ordinary small stands for that. So I'm using SF57 on the top, and I'm using SF57 on the bottom, having it about 3 fingers away from the skin. The top one is pointing to the middle, although the top one is pointing to the center of the snare. The bottom one is pointing straight up. So that's it on the snare. Let's go over to the hi-hat and the ride cymbal. Okay, so now we're gonna talk about the overhead mics. I know in the past I have used 3 overhead mics. I used to have one on the left, one on the right, and one in the center. This time I thought I was gonna go a little bit more traditional and use one left and right. However, I also want to close mic the cymbals. That's actually something I have never done before. I want to try it out and see if it is even worth it. It could be worth it to EQ the cymbals all alone. We'll see how that turns out. Have you ever tried it? Do you think it's good? Do you think it's bad? Am I doing something wrong here? Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments. So we're gonna close mic the cymbals. The ride cymbal, the crash, and the hi-hat are gonna be closed mic. So let's do that the first. Okay, so the microphones that I'm using for the ride and the hi-hat are the same. It's the Rode MT3. It's a super good, affordable microphone. I don't know exactly the price, don't remember, but it's a couple of, I don't know, $300 or something like that. And I have to tell you, I've had this one since the late 90s. So I have this for like 25 years, so it's totally worth it. It sounds awesome. I'll never get rid of it. I'm using it every day on drums. It's a super cardio condenser microphone, so it's really good, especially on drums, cymbals. It's behaving a little bit like a shotgun mic. It's not a shotgun mic, but it's behaving a little bit like that. So this one is going on the hi-hat. And I'm going in the middle, right about in the middle, and it's about, I don't know, 2 hands high. How much that is, I don't know. What's a hand? And then we're going on to ride. So one thing that I'm trying to do, I mean, I'm not totally anal about it, but one thing that I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get the same distance. I'm trying to get roughly the same distance between the ride microphone and the hi-hat microphone. Okay, so one thing that I try to do when I'm doing this, I try to get the ride and the hi-hat microphone roughly at the same distance to the snare. So I have one microphone on the hi-hat, I have one microphone on the ride. They are the same type of microphones. The next thing we're gonna do is try to close mic the cymbals. And this one I have never done before. This is gonna be something fun. I'm guessing that I would try to do the same as I did with the hi-hat and the ride in the middle. And pretty close, I think. Okay. So the microphones that we are using on the cymbals. Okay, so the microphones that we're gonna use, the Rode M5, it's called, the small diaphragm condenser. They are really affordable. I think they are 150 bucks for a pair. So that's great. Buy them. I mean, all the Rode mics are really affordable and are really good. They have really low self-noise. They can handle a lot of pressure. Okay, I don't know, something like that. Let's try it out. And as I said before, I haven't tried it. It could be the worst mistake I ever done. I don't know. I think that I should have it more up there because it will be further away from the snare. And because these are closed mic'd, we don't want anything except the cymbals in these. Of course, it's gonna bleed anyway. But hopefully there will be much more of the cymbal than of the rest of the kit. Okay, so these are closed mic Rode M5. I actually tried to get him a little bit in phase with a snare. I don't know. So I want to try this one out. Okay, so we have closed mic all the cymbals. The hi-hat got a Rode NT3. The 16-inch crash got a Rode M5. The 17-inch crash got a Rode M5. And the ride cymbal got a Rode NT3. So these are closed mic. And then I want to put up an overhead. I'm thinking putting it up here, straight in the middle, with an XY series. So let's do that. And I think because we have closed mic all the cymbals, the overheads will just be like the drum room, I think, just to fill out the gaps. We're gonna use this, I don't know what it's called. It's a bar with two that you can put on stereo microphone. And the microphones that we're using as overhead, the SC Magneto. I bought this at a midnight sale at the music store, and I think I paid 60 bucks for a pair. Best 60 bucks I ever spent, I think. So we're gonna use this as a stereo configuration on XY. Just to get the whole drum kit, and we're gonna use that as kind of the room mics. I think I'm gonna compress the shit out of this. So they are in the middle, and then they are pointed like 45 degrees. So it's taking out up the drum kit like this. Okay, so this is the kick drum. In the middle, I'm using an Akg D112, and this is a homemade sub kick that I made. If you put an XLR cable on a speaker, that will make it into a microphone. So it's perfect for picking up that low end. And the microphone that I'm gonna put up here is an Adk A40A. It's called Adk A48 Vintage Valve. This is actually a tube microphone, large condenser, and basically they tried to make an U47, I guess. But it's a good sounding microphone, and it's especially on the kick drum. I think it sounds really cool. So let's put it up here. One thing that you have to remember though, when you're using large diaphragm condensers in front of a kick drum, is that the kick drum moving a lot of air to get that low bottom. And therefore, this mic is actually in front of the skin and not in the hole, because all of it is pushing a lot of air in this hole. So you have to be careful, especially don't put ribbon microphones in front of a kick, because that can really damage your microphones. And if you're gonna use a microphone on the kick, remember to check that it actually can handle a high sound pressure level, because you're gonna get like, I don't know, 120 dB or something like that from the kick. So be careful. And then we have only one more microphone to put up on this kit, and that's gonna be a ribbon microphone. Okay, so the way we want to put up the ribbon mic is really low, and it's about, I don't know, 2 meters in front of the kit. I'm not telling you that this way that I'm doing this right now is the only way to do it, because it isn't. I just want to try out some new stuff. This one I had tried before, and it sounded awesome. I just ran it through an 1176 and just slamming it. So this is gonna be fun, I think. Let's try it and see where it takes us. Okay, so now we have 15 microphones on the drums. I don't know if this is gonna work or not. I have this, the closed mic symbol is something new to me. We'll have to listen and see how that comes out. Otherwise, I know that most of it will work. So I'm pretty happy. It looks much better now. It's much cleaner. One thing that I always try to do is have a clean and neat studio, because then it's much more fun to work here. It's good to come into the studio and you know that everything is where it's supposed to be, and it's clean, and you don't have to move stuff. However, when I have recorded the drums, when I'm finished with it, or whatever I'm recording, I always take the microphones away. I will leave the stands up, but the microphones I will put it in the bags. So I'm just gonna do this, and then we're gonna record some drums, and we'll see if that's any good. So, bye.